Hello guys, thank you for participating in the 3 online sessions. I know that there was some tools and resources that we embedded throughout the presentation to model some practices that you can utilize to do virtual learning. So I wanted to provide you with some information on what those tools are and how you can use them. Okay, so the first thing that we really wanted to do was provide a lot of people with options for accessing various documents, resources, or websites. Everyone has a different familiarity with or comfortability with various tools that we use online, so we wanted to have some options. So one of the first things that we did was from each overview page, we linked all the documents that we would be utilizing throughout the session in one location. So as you can see here, each of these are hyperlinked. Okay, so this hyperlinks you to the presentation. So I'm going to show you how you can do that. So all you need to do, one, is make sure that anything that you are hyperlinking, the individuals accessing it have access to that Google folder or whatever it might be. So what we ended up doing for each session is we made a session folder. And then we had the leadership information page here. And then anything that we linked in this document, we made sure was in this folder where y'all had access to it. So from here, for example, the first thing we linked was the PowerPoint. So I have the PowerPoint in this folder here, and all I did was go to the PowerPoint and copied the link from the top, right-clicked, go down to copy, and then I typed what I wanted it to say. So here, leadership PowerPoint, okay. I highlighted that text, and I went up here to the link, insert link button. It looks kind of like a paperclip, and it creates this pop-up screen, and I just select right-click, paste, and apply it. Now this link is hyperlinked to that presentation. Okay, the same goes for remaining Google documents. One thing I will say, when you are linking these Google Forms, which we use for sign-ins, you want to make sure that you're on the view form side. So you'll see that up here in the URL side. I know we ran into some troubles with that. So let me just show you what the two different sides of a Google form look like. So if you want to create a completely new Google form, you go up to New in the left corner, and you toggle down to More, and you'll see Google Forms there. Okay, so in our Session 2 folder, we created multiple forms. Let's just take a look at the sign-in. Okay, so when you open up a new thing to create, it looks like this, right? So this is the editing side where you can add questions, import questions, add additional text, add images, whatever it might be. Okay, to get to the side of the responses from this form, this is where you would access it, on that editing side. We know it's the editing side because up here it says /edit, and then the responses are edit. So here are all of our participants. You can see I'm not going to scroll down to show your answers, but the intent of the sign-in that we can easily submit is to create a spreadsheet with this document. I'm going to create a new spreadsheet, or we can select an existing spreadsheet. What I'm going to do is create one spreadsheet and then add all of the sessions to that one spreadsheet so that they're all there on their own tab for each session. But for right now, since that doesn't exist yet, I'm going to create this spreadsheet. Okay, and it is time stamped there for you. It says who's participated and their position. You could add any other questions that you want, but this just confirms that everyone was there and when they arrived for the session. And once I link the other survey, the Google Forms, I keep calling them surveys, I'll link them and they'll be their own tab. So we'll have responses for session 1, session 2, and session 3. And I can change the name of these at any point. So sign in for session 2, 7, 22, 20. Okay. And then if we go back to our main sheet, that explains how we linked to various things. Okay. To go back to the multiple forms of access, for example, we linked in this sheet for the sign-ins, but then also in the presentation, we provided a QR code. This can be helpful if someone only has one screen and wants to utilize their phone. So you can generate free QR codes by just doing a simple Google search, free QR code generator. And I really like this one. It's a few down. It says QR code dash generator. So on this, you can create a QR. So I'm just going to go grab a generic URL. Okay, and I'm just going to put the website in here, and then it'll generate it. What makes these tricky is they oftentimes, like, if I want to download this, it'll make it seem like I have to sign up or log in, but I really don't. So like right here, it says, like, looks like it says free to sign up and you have to do all of this. But if you look up here, it says your QR code is being generated. Do not refresh or exit. And then once it's downloaded, you'll see it pop up in your downloads. So down here on the bottom right is where it is. So I'm going to open it. Okay, and there's my QR code. I can just put a camera over that and it will bring me to that site. So I can save this, you know, however I want to my documents. And then when I, like, see, for example, here, session 3, when I go to back to my presentation, I have that document saved and it just acts as an image. So I just want to file, upload something from my computer, and it typically pulls up the last thing populated, and you can pop it in and resize it however you want. Delete that though. You can also hyperlink images, and that's utilized the same way as linking from document to document. It's just linking to an external site. So this was a picture I Googled, and then I went up here to link it, and I linked the sign-in URL. You can sometimes various things, I don't know why sometimes I realize it, sometimes I don't, but sometimes the link isn't the right click. I don't know what changes between the two. Okay, if we go back to our main sheet, we just went over how you can link Google Docs to other existing things, making sure that they have access to all the documents already that you're linking to, QR codes, and hyperlinking pictures. We then utilized a few engagement tools that are free online, so I just wanted you to take a look at them. One of the things we used was Linoit, and this is a way for people to collaborate and provide and participate without all having to talk at once. So you can just create various posts. You could do this however you want. I always encourage people to write their name first so that I know if I want to call on people specifically. Otherwise, you can just have them submit an answer any way they want. We just got to kind of play around with it. I feel like I learned something different about it each time. The other thing we did was that poll that you can participate in. This is through something called Slido, and you can create a free account. I'm not going to create a new event, but I'm just going to show you the event that we used. When you create an event, people need to be provided like a code number for it to be able to participate in it. So this event had ended, so we had a live poll, and you can just create a question and then save it, and then it'll generate like, you know, like either a QR or a link or whatever that you can send or embed in anything that you want. The other good thing is it has a Q&A that you can utilize. So let's say you had a PD and you want to have people be able to send questions whenever they want. They can send questions. What is SCI? For you at any point. People can reply. You can save this when it's over, whatever you might want to do, and just kind of have like a almost like a Facebook feed during your event. And then it generates data for you, analytics that you can use. And then the other thing that was embedded, we didn't get to use much for, it's just like a wheelofnames.com, and you can just spin it. And it'll land on somebody to participate. And I'll take him off the wheel. Okay, if I would have just pressed cancel, it would have kept him on the wheel. And I think that kind of wraps up some of the things that we did do. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'm happy to help in any way. I just thought this might be a nice way for you to see kind of what we did along the way.